Hello, and welcome to Own Your Retirement. My name is Albert Lalonde from Kaizen Financial. If you'd like more information about what you hear during our show today, give us a call at 586-752-7008 or visit us online at www.kaizenfinancialinc.com. That's Kaizen, Kaizen. And while at my webpage, click on my podcast page to check out my past shows and subscribe to our program on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music. Okay, when it comes to preparing for retirement, Social Security is one of the most important parts of your overall strategy, regardless of your savings or other income sources. In addition to working with a financial service professional, there are some steps you can take to better ensure you're getting everything you can out of Social Security, a program you've paid into, well, since you've earned your first paycheck. But to begin the show, we're going to share some insights from a USA Today article headlined, "Are You Ready to Collect Social Security? 3 Signs It Might Be Time." But before we dive into today's topic, let me introduce my co-host, Tony Shore, who's in a good mood because baseball spring training has arrived, and that means summer's just around the corner. Hey, Tony, how we doing, buddy?
Yeah, well, the only thing I enjoy more than spring and summer is you, Albert, and
Thank you,
doing
buddy.
the show with you. I love this every week. I've been doing good. We actually record the show on a Tuesday,
Mhm.
and today is my birthday. Did you know?
What?
You didn't even know that. I kept it a secret.
Happy birthday, my friend. That is
Yeah,
amazing. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness. So you are a March baby.
Yep, I am.
Wow.
Guess how old?
Man, I'm going to say 50.
60.
Wow. Wow. You look really
60
good,
years.
60, my friend.
Thanks. I think it's my immaturity. It throws people off.
Well, just so you know, my birthday is in 3 days. So I'm a March baby as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
yes.
that's right. We both were the same week. That's awesome.
Hmm.
So you've got your big birthday and
Yes.
you'll be 50 this year, right?
I wish.
49. So that'll be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. This is kind of our birthday week show,
There we
right?
go. Any
Yeah.
special plans?
My family is taking me out to my favorite restaurant. It's an
Ooh.
Italian and pizza place. It's really
Ooh.
good. Donatelli's here.
Nice.
And that'll be Friday. We're going out to celebrate. Then the
Very
end of the
nice.
month, I'm going to Nashville. I used to live in Nashville. I have a lot of friends who work in the music industry there and
Wow.
some artists as well. And they're throwing me a 60th birthday party down in Nashville.
Oh,
So
that is
that'll be fun.
amazing,
Yeah.
bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun. How about you? What are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing as exciting as that, but I will do a little luncheon at the Detroit Athletic Club, and then it's the first
Nice.
day. I've got tickets for the golf convention here, so I
Oh,
will be
fun.
seeing that afterwards. Probably buy
Oh,
myself a little birthday gift.
yeah,
But yeah, that's about all I'm doing for now. I got too much going on with my surgery and all that I'm laying low for the
that's
next couple of
right.
weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
that's true. You got that.
It's my birthday.
I love it. That is
Uh,
awesome, man.
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, hey, we need to jump into our
Okay.
topic here. I
Yes.
mean, I know that when we address Social Security and Social Security strategies on the show, it's usually the most popular shows we do,
Yes.
because it's an essential part of retirement for most Americans. So, what's the first indicator that
Yeah.
somebody might be ready to file, or what's the strategy we need to be thinking
Right.
about here?
Well, the first sign is simple in theory, but powerful in practice. You know what your retirement spending needs look like.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're what you're gonna need to spend in retirement, actually have a plan. It sounds straightforward, but probably isn't for a lot of people,
Oh,
right?
exactly right. You see, because your Social Security filing age determines how much you'll receive each month, you can't really make that decision in isolation. You need context. You need to know what your monthly spending needs actually are. If you haven't run the numbers and don't know what retirement will realistically cost you, well, I'm going to tell you this, it's very difficult to know whether claiming now makes sense.
Right. Yeah, there you go. So this starts with a retirement. I hate to use the B word budget then, right?
Yep. Or we can say expenses if you want to make it
Yeah,
sound a
spending
bit
plan.
better. Right.
Spending plan. Yeah.
But it's not just a rough estimate we're looking for. Now's the time that we want to map out the retirement budget that accounts for your essential costs, including things like housing, food, and healthcare, but also the things that you want to do with your time as well. Because retirement isn't just about covering the basics, it's about living.
Yeah, that's true. It is about living. I mean, there you go. That's the great point. It's not just keeping the lights on. What am I actually doing with my days, right?
Yeah, he's precisely. And when you retire, you suddenly have more time. And filling that time often comes, well, with expenses, travel, hobbies, social activities, maybe helping family, maybe pursuing something you've always wanted to try. Those
Right.
things matter, and many of them, though, cost money. So it's important to be realistic about your financial needs in retirement. If your budget includes, let's say, shelter, food, and healthcare, but doesn't also reflect how you actually want to live in retirement, you may be underestimating what you actually need.
Right. And so if somebody has truly mapped this out with both essentials and lifestyle, that will give them a clear picture for when to claim then.
Yes. And if you, let's say, run the numbers and your retirement budget supports finally now, meaning your projected Social Security benefit aligns with your spending needs, well, that's a strong sign you may be ready. And it shows you're making a proactive decision, not an emotional one.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And that's the deal. If you, once you start making emotional decisions with your finances, that's bad. It can be costly. And it's the really what you're talking about is the difference between reacting and planning.
Yeah, exactly right, Tony. When I work with my clients, we don't start with, hey, what age should you claim? We start with, what does your retirement actually look like? Once we see how Social Security fits into the broader income strategy, well, the filing decision becomes much clearer.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. It does become clearer. And sign number one then really comes down to clarity, right?
Mhm.
If you know what you need, then that's a big green light.
It is. And because the more clarity you have about your spending, the more confident you can be about when to turn on that Social Security income.
Yeah. So you've mapped out your spending. You understand what retirement will realistically cost. So, what's the second sign that it might be time to file for Social
Yes.
Security?
Sign number two is this: you've assessed your savings to figure out how much income they'll actually provide you.
Well, yeah. And that's the key. And I have a feeling this is where a lot of people get tripped up, right?
They do. It's
Yeah.
not as simple as I just said it. Obviously, many people focus heavily on building a large balance in, let's say, their IRA or 401ks. And understandably so, because watching that number, let's say, grow over time, well, it feels like progress. But sometimes people get so caught up in the total balance that they don't stop to ask a very important question: what will this actually translate into as income? Because in retirement, you guys all know it's not about the account balance and who has the bigger balance. It's about the income that balance can generate. That's the key there, Tony.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like shifting from how much do I have to what does this pay me out each month in retirement? It's not necessarily about the amount.
Yes.
It's more about when I need it and will it be there every month for as long as I live, right?
Right. And then what does it look like, too? I mean, that's well said, Tony.
Yeah.
If you've taken the time, let's say, to calculate how much annual or monthly income your savings can reasonably provide, then you're in a much stronger position to decide when to claim Social Security. Because then you can see how Social Security fits into the bigger picture. And let's use, let's say, a simple example. Let's say, based on your 401k balance, you expect to generate, let's say, around about $4,000 per month in retirement. And let's say your target is $6,000 per month to maintain your desired lifestyle. Well,
Well,
now there's a $2,000 gap there.
yeah, that's $2,000.
Yes. And if you're eligible for that, let's say $2,000 per month Social Security at, let's say, full retirement age, if you just hit, or let's say reach that age, that lines up almost perfectly with your goal. But in that scenario, you could feel confident filing for benefits right away because of that.
Yeah, because your savings plus Social Security equals that target income.
Bingo. And now, could you delay, let's say, filing to increase your Social Security benefit? Well, yes, of course, that option exists. But if $2,000 per month gives you the spending power you're looking for and it completes your retirement income plan, then there's no need to force yourself to wait simply because you've heard that waiting is always better. Well, the right decision depends on, well, your numbers.
Yeah, your individual numbers and everybody's are going to be different. So it really comes back to coordination. I mean,
Yes.
Social Security isn't separate from your savings, it needs to work alongside it. It's more like a foundation, right?
Yes, that's a good way to look at that. And when you understand what your savings can realistically provide in income and not just what the balance looks like, you can evaluate whether your Social Security benefits fills the remaining gap. And when those pieces align, wow, that's a strong sign you may be ready to claim it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. So we've covered knowing your spending needs and understanding how your savings translates into income. But before we keep going, why don't you let our listeners out there know if they have questions about when they should file for Social Security, how it will affect their situation?
Sure.
Everybody's situation is different. You don't just file when your neighbor did or when your friend did or a
Right.
relative or a coworker. How can they get a hold of you? And you have a Social Security maximization report that will calculate everything and tell them where their sweet spot is, right, for
Yeah.
filing, and
And
even consider spousal
yep.
strategies, spousal filing strategies, things like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we also do a great job of looking at your expenses and
Yeah.
how you're laying that out because you want to know that. Like I said, number one, folks, if you need to understand where your income's coming from and do you have enough, just give us a call at 586-752-7008 or visit us online at www.kaizenfinancialinc.com. That's Kaizen, Kaizen. And remember, scheduling a consultation only takes a few minutes, and we're always willing to work around your schedule. So please give us a call if you're looking for information.
All right. Well, hey, what's the third sign that it might be time to file?
Well, sign number three is especially important for married couples. You understand how your filing age might impact your spouse financially.
Yeah. So now we're widening the lens beyond just one person's retirement.
Exactly. And claiming Social Security can be more straightforward for someone who is single. But when you're married, oh, the decision affects you more than just your own monthly benefit. It's important to assess your spouse's financial needs as well as your own.
Right. And there you go. And there's a survivor component to think about too, right?
Yes, there is. In fact, if you expect your spouse to outlive you, the amount you collect from Social Security each month can determine what survivor benefit they receive. Now, that's a significant factor. Your filing age doesn't just impact your income while you're both living, it could also affect the financial stability of your surviving spouse down the road.
Wow, and that makes this decision feel even more weighty, and it makes it more important,
It
right? I
does.
mean,
It does.
if when you file is going to affect your spouse down the road, you've got to really think about that.
Yep. I mean, we call it the widow's penalty, and a lot of people don't think about that at all. They just, like I
Right.
said in the beginning, on a single filer, they say, "Hey, I need 2,000 to fill my gap, and I can make it right now if I turn it on." But then they don't realize their spouse can only have maybe theirs is 1,800, 1,900, and so when
Right.
something happens to him or her, the higher spender, guess what? They only move up a couple $100 difference while losing 1,800 to 2,000. And that's
Yeah.
just such a big gap. And if you've already thought that through and understand how your filing age may impact your spouse's finances, well, you've incorporated that into your broader strategy. And that's what you have to do. And that's another strong sign that you may be ready to take benefits if you see that advantage.
Yeah, and the theme so far across all three filing strategies or signs that you're ready to file really comes down to preparation and awareness and working with somebody like yourself.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's exactly right, Tony. And claiming Social Security is a major milestone. It's not a decision just to make casually or impulsively. But let's say if you've mapped out your retirement spending needs, calculate how much your income, your savings will provide, and then consider how your filing age could affect your spouse, you can feel confident filing for benefits knowing you've run the numbers and evaluated the broader impact.
Well, yeah, and you have another timely Social Security topic for us today. We're going to talk some more about this. What's that all about?
Well, it's another USA Today article, but this one's titled Three Steps to Max Out Your Social Security Benefits in 2026. And it does. It pairs nicely with what we've already been chatting about today. But its first big takeaway is that the maximum Social Security check has never looked better than it does in 2026.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the numbers are attention grabbing, aren't they?
They are. In fact, here, the highest earning beneficiaries are now receiving as much as $5,251 per month. That's more than $63,000 per year, Tony. And those benefits don't stay static. Obviously, they grow over time thanks to cost of living adjustments or COLA.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's right. It's a significant annual income stream, especially when you consider, you know, that it's guaranteed monthly income too.
Right. Well, what I call mailbox money.
Yeah.
And
Mailbox.
when people hear numbers like that, though, man, it naturally leads to the question, could I qualify for that? Well, if you want to join that elite group on the highest payments, there are three boxes you need to check before you apply. And here's something else that's very important. This doesn't happen by accident. You have to put in real work over the course of your career to pull it off.
Right. There you go. I think that's fantastic. And it's not a last minute strategy either, is it?
Not at all. Nope. This is about long-term planning,
Yeah.
long-term earnings, and understanding how the system calculates your benefit. And what I always tell people is that while not everyone will qualify for the maximum benefit, understand how it works can help you actually maximize your own benefits.
Right. Okay. So what's the first step to maxing out your Social Security?
Well, the Social Security Administration calculates your retirement benefit based on your 35 highest earning years adjusted for inflation. Now, that's an important detail. If you apply for benefits before, let's say you've accumulated 35 years in the workforce, your benefit calculation will include 0 income years, and those zeros can significantly reduce your monthly check.
Right. And we don't want that.
Nope.
Right. So let's say if somebody worked 30 years,
Mhm.
it's not like they won't get a Social Security. It's just those missing 5 years will count as zeros when the formula is calculated.
That is exactly right. And those 0 income years bring down your average, which brings down your benefit. Ultimately, one of the foundational steps to maximizing your Social Security benefit is simply working at least 35 years.
Right. And what about working longer than that? Is there a cap?
There is no downside to working more than 35 years. In fact, if you are, let's say, more recent years or higher earning years, they can replace the earlier, lower income years in your calculation, and that can actually increase your benefit. And if your income has grown over time, which is often is the case, continuing to work can strengthen your Social Security record.
Right. And you know, the first step really then is about building a strong earnings history over time.
Yes, I agree. And Social Security is based on your lifetime earnings record. The stronger those 35 years are, well, the stronger your monthly benefit will be. And if someone is really serious about maximizing their benefit, understanding how those 35 years are calculated, well, it's essential.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. So step one is working for at least 35 years. What's step two if somebody truly wants to max out that benefit?
Yeah, step number 2 is where things become a little bit more difficult for most people. You must pay the maximum amount of Social Security taxes in all 35 of your highest earning years to receive the largest possible checks.
So it's not just working the 35 years, it's earning at a certain level during those years.
Yes.
Hopefully your earnings will go up over the years and that will increase your Social Security amount.
Yep. Like, for example, in 2026, this year, that means earning at least $184,500 from your job. That's the income level subject to Social Security taxes for this year. In previous year, that limit was lower. Now, to qualify for the maximum benefit, your earnings in each of those 35 years would need to meet or exceed the applicable taxable maximum for those years.
Yeah, so not a lot of people are going to achieve that, but some might. It's a high bar. Probably the reason most of us won't qualify for the absolute maximum benefit.
Yep. And this is the step that prevents most individuals from receiving the largest possible Social Security checks. So, not everyone earns at that level consistently for 35 years, and that's okay. The important takeaway isn't necessarily that everyone can reach the maximum benefit. It's that your income level directly impacts your future Social Security benefit.
So even if somebody can't hit the maximum, improving their income still matters.
It does, big time. And while you may not earn enough to qualify for the maximum benefit, you can still take steps to increase your future benefit, well, by increasing your income. Working overtime, securing a raise, or pursuing, let's say, a higher paying job are all ways that could strengthen your earnings record and in turn increase your Social Security benefit down the road.
Yeah, so your benefit, it's a reflection of your lifetime earnings.
Yes. Now, Social Security isn't random. It's formula based. The more you earn up to the taxable maximum and the longer you earn at that level, the stronger your potential benefit. And understanding that connection helps you make informed decisions about your career and income strategy along the way.
All right, so we've covered the working at least 35 years,
Yeah.
paying the maximum in Social Security taxes during those years. What's the third and final step to maxing out your benefit this year?
Step number 3 is about timing. You can claim Social Security as early as age 62. We all know this. But if you want the largest possible monthly checks, well, you must wait until age 70.
So, and that's because of delayed retirement credits, is what they call those.
That is right. Every month you delay your application increases your benefit a little, and that increase compounds over time up until age 70. So from a purely, let's say, mathematical standpoint, waiting until 70, well, it's obviously going to produce the largest possible monthly check.
But, and this is an important one, Albert, that doesn't automatically mean waiting until 70 is the right choice for everyone.
Yes, that's an important point, Tony. While many people receive their largest lifetime benefit by applying at age 70, it's not a universal strategy. If someone, let's say, has a shorter life expectancy, or if they don't have other retirement income sources to cover expenses while they wait, well, then claiming earlier may make more sense. And again, this comes back to your personal circumstances.
Yeah. So even with the maximum benefit conversation, there's still nuance and everybody's situation is still different.
There always is, Tony.
Yeah.
And here's another important point. Even if you don't qualify for, let's say, the absolute maximum Social Security benefit, you can still take steps to increase your benefits. You can A, work to increase your income, B, build a strong 35 years of earnings record, and C, carefully time your application based on your financial situation and life expectancy. And just as importantly, you should save as much as you can on your own so that you can supplement your benefits as well.
Right, because in the end, Social Security is only part of the strategy. It's not the entire strategy, right?
Exactly. And Social Security, as you said earlier, Tony, is a foundational piece of retirement income for many people, but it works best when it's coordinated with your personal savings and overall financial strategy.
Yeah. And that's why I think, after covering everything you've talked about today, you've talked about spending needs, savings, spousal impact, maximizing benefits. That's why people need to have that Social Security maximization report run and work with somebody like yourself so you don't have to navigate this alone, because you can look at their personal situation and time horizon and goals and figure out when the best time for them would be, right?
Exactly. And that's a great point, Tony. Social Security doesn't, well, happen in a vacuum. They connect to your retirement budget, your saving strategy, your spouse's financial security, and even your long-term income planning.
Yeah, and you help bring all those moving parts together.
People like me, financial service professionals, well, they can help evaluate your projected benefits, review your income sources, and then map it all out and show how different filing ages might impact your overall retirement picture. It's not about telling someone to file early or to wait. In fact, what I do is it's just about aligning the decisions with their broader goals and show them what it does afterwards.
So instead of guessing, you're making an informed choice.
Yes. And when you've run the numbers and evaluated trade-offs, you can now move forward with confidence, knowing your Social Security strategy supports your long-term financial strategy.
Exactly. Well, this has been a great discussion today, Albert. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Folks, if you are really concerned about your Social Security, when you should be claiming it, how to maximize it, please contact us. Go to our website, www.kaizenfinancialinc.com. That's Kaizen, Kaizen, or give my office a call at 586-752-7008. We love to help you protect your savings and feel confident about the road ahead so that you can own your retirement.
Awesome. Thanks, Albert. Listeners and viewers, thanks for tuning in. That does it for this episode of Own Your Retirement with our host, Albert Lalonde.
Take care.